Oh, bloody hell.
This old broom has had 17 new heads and 14 new hands.
Trick, why'd you call me Dave?
Oh, shut up, you tart. Lovely jubbly.
What a plonker.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Here we are again. It's Wednesday night. It's a bloody hot one. Jeez and Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Welcome to Calico Productions proudly presents Hunya Geeky Showing. I'm Random. Hey, I'm Random JB. Back with everyone. I'm the random man I've played. So, with me tonight, as usual, is the Queen of Calico Productions, ladies and gentlemen, Callista Valentine.
Hello, everybody. It is good to be back in this fucking chair.
Yes, we're in our respective chairs. It's all good.
Oh, of course.
What we're going to talk about tonight? Well, chuck a pony in my pocket. I get the suitcase from the van. Yes, of course, we're talking about Only Fools and Horses.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Only Fools and Horses. Quintessential British sitcom.
The best, arguably the best ever sitcom.
Definitely.
The history of television.
Definitely.
Well, British television at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it did get ported over to the States, but I don't think they really understood it because it's just pure British humor. It's pure British humor through and through. If you don't know any of the slang terms for things or anything like that, it's going to go over your head. It really is.
Definitely. So then, Kelly, how did you first get into this old stalwart of British telly?
Well, I think like most people my age, because it ran from 1981 until 2003, had 7 seasons. So it was quite a long running show with some gaps.
Yeah.
But like most people my age, I kind of got into it through my parents, really. I mean, Saturday evenings, tea time, it was 6 o'clock, Only Fools and Horses, BBC One, dinner on your lap or, at the table with the TV in the background, and you just laugh your ass off while eating your egg and chips on toast or whatever the hell you were having that day,
Egg and chips on toast, that sounds nice, actually. That's a good...
But with beans, just to...
fuck beans. Beans suck. Sorry, we're tangenting already.
Yeah,
Stop
here we
that.
go. We're going to start a great bean debate now, aren't we?
Well, there's only one bean I'm interested in. It belongs to my wife. But that's a
wait till
story.
she hears that one broadcast.
It's all right. She's sat over the other side of the room. She heard it. Or maybe didn't. I don't know.
Oh, right. Anyway, well, yeah.
Yes.
So that was kind of how I got into it. And yeah, I loved it. For me, it's proper nostalgic family time kind of TV. It's got definitely a lot of jokes that will make the kids laugh. It's got to a certain extent, almost some slapstick humor about it. Like some of the things that happen, like one scene that pops into mind is when Dell's selling the dodgy mobile phones.
Yeah.
And he's got one in his pocket and someone taps the phone. And the aerial shoots up and goes right up his nose, and he's there going, and that's how they get caught because they're trying to hide from someone.
Yeah.
And I was just like, as a kid, that's funny. But
yeah.
As you get older, you realize that there's little in jokes that only like the older audience are going to get. Like the dentist scene is a favorite of mine. And the dentist says to says to Delboy, just a little prick. And Delboy goes, oh, what? No, he's in the van.
Yeah.
Kids really wouldn't get that, but like once you get to a certain age, you kind of go, "He's got a Rodney a brick."
Yeah,
it's a good way of getting around the censorship. That was.
Yeah, definitely.
I suppose we should probably mention for Only Fools and Horses, slight tangent. That was kind of one of its biggest selling points. That some of the jokes they got away with because it wasn't directly said; it was more just sort of inferred or suggested. And you were kind of left going, this is the full watershed. So, yeah. But anyway, flipping over to you, Guy, how did you get into Only Fools and Horses?
Actually, pretty much the same way as you.
Fair enough, then. Like I said, most people our age.
Yeah, I think it's just how you got it, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I said, it ran 81 to 2003. So I wasn't born until 84. You know, so.
Oh dear.
But anyway, for the general premise of this show, for those who haven't seen it, and if you haven't seen it, why haven't you seen it?
If you haven't seen it, then you're dead.
Yes, if you haven't seen it, you need to go and see it. But anyway, the general premise is David Jason plays Derek Delboy Trotter. He raises or looks after his younger brother, Rodney Trotter, with their granddad, who's just simply called Granddad.
Yeah.
Played by Leonard Pierce, and Rodney was played by Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Yes.
And basically, Delboy's a dodgy dealer, not like drug dealer. He deals in like dodgy merchandise and things like that. He's a bit of a wheeler and dealer, shall we say?
Mm.
And they live in a block of flats in Peckham, London. The block of flats is called Nelson Mandela House. And it's basically the story of their exploits and them trying to get rich and get out of poverty and get out of London and ride around, which I think really struck a chord with British people in the 1980s.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's just everyone was trying to get rich in the 80s.
Exactly. And I don't think it was just that, but I think like coming out of like, especially up in like Yorkshire way and things like that, coming out of the coal miner strikes and all that kind of shit, you know, and during the 80s, Thatcher was in power. Well, Thatcher may be in power, but we finally answered that question. Is there someone worse out there?
Yeah.
Not to get political, but...
Oh, now then, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we thought Thatcher was bad. Did Boris Johnson just go, hold my pint?
Yeah, certainly.
But anyway.
Hold on. Tangent alert.
Tangent, back onto the subject, only fools and horses. But yeah, I think that's why it struck a chord with the British public at the time, because it was just the everyday guys. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of sitcoms back then had been like, I don't want to say upper middle class, but like The Good Life.
Yeah.
They just decided, oh, we're going to go up sticks and move out into the countryside. It's like, well, if you've got the money to do that.
Well, that's the thing. Well, they did it. They still did that in suburbia. He didn't want the rat race anymore. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like, but I think Only Fools and Horses did tell the story of everyday Londoners, everyday British people, just trying to get by, trying to survive, trying to keep food on the table, all that kind of stuff. It spoke to a nation of like, that's real life. Yeah. We had EastEnders, but that was a soap opera, not a sitcom.
Oh, yeah. So well, still back then, EastEnders was actually good. So there you go.
Well, yeah, I suppose it is.
No, sorry, no tangent.
Yeah. Quickly carrying on with the story. The actor Leonard Pierce, who played Grandad, unfortunately passed away.
Yes.
And I can't remember what year that was. Let me just quickly do a fact check here.
Fact check.
I'm scanning through. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, so carry on with the jingle then. Fact check. Fact check. So that sounded like fact check.
I can't actually find a date here. So
Leonard Pierce died at some point.
I think it was season 3?
No, I think it might have been 4.
The actor passed away at some point during the recording of the seasons, and the character was replaced with Uncle Albert, played by
Buster Merrifield.
There we go.
Boom.
Quicker than me for once, which is
a
most men.
Hey. Boy.
I'm behaving. I moved away from the microphone.
Sweet.
But yeah, so didn't Uncle Albert actually just end up in the series because he came to the funeral and then just never left?
Hold on. My independent adjudicator, the wife, tells me that he died in December 1984.
December 1984. Yeah, so that would have been season 3 then, because it came out. It started in 81. So I was right. Yay!
Thanks,
Yay,
Eddie.
me. But yeah, so that's the basic general premise of Only Fools and Horses.
Notable highlights.
Go on then, Guy. You go first.
Jolly Boys outing. The Jolly Boys outing.
Yes.
Brilliant. When our bus blows up, it's just bloody hilarious. Which is the thing, this is the other thing. I mean, true great comedy. You like some Morecambe and Wise, etc., etc. You can watch it over and over and over again. You still laugh.
Yes, definitely. That is one thing with Only Fools and Horses. There's definitely a lot of rewatch to it. Like you can watch the entire series, like all 7 seasons, in one go. And then months later, you'll go back and watch it again, and you will still laugh your ass off because it's still funny.
Yeah.
You know, like I said earlier, like some of the visual gags are fucking hilarious, but the actual like punchlines and jokes are just like, we were talking about this the other day. The during the war, if you mention the war one more time.
So, all right, during the 1939 to 1945 conflict in Germany. And then it's the look Del gives him.
And of course, one of Del's catchphrases was always, "You stupid plonker."
Yeah. It's going to be a brass rock. Oh, good. Oh.
Again, I got to stop smoking. I've already got enough on my chest as it is, so let's carry on.
Boom.
Highlight and moments. What I mentioned earlier, the mobile phone thing up the nose, that was a highlight for me.
Brilliant. Chandelier.
The chandelier, one highlight moment for me, and a little bit of a story. It's not so much a tangent. It does involve one of my favorite scenes, but it's one of the moments in, I can't remember which season it is, but it's between Rodney and what was her name again? What was his girlfriend? Cassandra. She miscarried.
Yeah.
And she's in hospital. And I remember this scene because it's one of 2 times that I actually saw my dad get really sort of teary-eyed and broken up about stuff. This and the end of My Girl, which is why I can never watch My Girl again. Thank you, Dad. I love you, but fuck you. But yeah, in the scene, right before Rodney goes in to see Cassandra, Del Boy's there, giving him the big speech, like, be strong, brave, don't shed a tear, you've got to be there for it, blah blah blah. But he's bigging it all up and like, got to be strong, Rod. You got to be strong, Rodney. They go in. As soon as Del Boy sees her, and this is what I loved about Only Fools and Horses, where it could balance the serious with the comedy, because he's just done that big speech, and it's like, oh wow, Del loves his brother so fucking much, man. And then they walk in the room, and Del Boy just, as soon as he sees her, he's just like, he just proper like breaks down.
Yeah.
And you can hear like the laughter track in the background, and it's just like, oh, that's brilliant. It goes from so tender to Del Boy just like Niagara fucking Falls. It's just, it's one of the reasons why I love it. That scene I love because it my dad loved it as much, like that much, that he got teared up, because the bit with Rodney afterwards as well, again balancing the tender with the comedy. It went straight back into Rodney, like giving his speech to Cassandra and telling her that it's okay and he's going to be there for him, blah, blah, blah. And it's, you laugh, you go from being,
Yeah.
It plays with your emotions, but it does it in such a good way. It balances, shut up phone, it balances it in such a way. Sorry, I had to acknowledge that because that was loud.
Some of us turn the phone on to silent.
I'm sorry. Anyway, another highlight from you, Guy?
Well, heroes and villains.
The Batman and Robin. That was going to be my next choice, the Batman and Robin one. And we talked about this last night when Rodney does the whole "let's go."
Yeah.
It was just, and they show up, and then it turns out it's a funeral because the person who's hosting the party died, and they go and spraying the silly straight, and it's And
Oh.
Boise in that scene was.
Oh God.
I suppose we should actually, little tangent here, little segue. The spin-offs from Only Fools and Horses, Green Grass and Rock and Chips.
Green Grass, I didn't watch.
I watched it when it first started, but it was Boise without the others.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work.
Oh,
You got that laugh perfect. Oh, that was spot on.
it's one of my few impressions I can actually do.
Oh, that's
decently.
brilliant. That's brilliant. You're gonna have to record that, send it to me, and I'll put it on the intro.
Yeah, would be.
Oh, but yeah, I didn't watch Rock and Chips. We talked about this last night.
Yeah, I watched Rock and Chips. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I've heard it's quite good, but I've not.
It
seen
is.
It, so.
It's got pathos and drama as well as the usual laughs that you would get.
Yeah, I may have to track it down and give it a watch then. But yeah, that was a slight segue. Right. I think
We've got to talk about it, haven't we?
What about what?
The best episode ever.
What's
Time
that?
on our hands.
Oh, with where they finally become millionaires.
Yeah. Which was supposed to be the last one.
Yeah, but then they didn't want the Christmas one a year later, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
That actually has one of my funniest quotes in it. Where Del Boy, all up to where they find the watch, always says, "This time next week we'll be millionaires." They get the money. They ride off into the sunset. They've got, blah, 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 blah. Comes back on the Christmas episode due to some poor investment choices. They fucking lost a lot. They're back in Nelson Mandela House. Del Boy's back to doing his dodgy dealing. And he turns around to Rodden and he says, "Come on, bro. This time next week we'll be millionaires." And Rodney just snaps him and goes, "This time last week we were millionaires." I love how that joke came kind of full circle on Del. It's like, you wanted to be, you were, and then you're back to where you started.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think you kind of got to do that, haven't you?
Yeah.
If you are going to come back to it, you've got to fuck them over.
Exactly. I did like, though, and again, bouncing the... When they finally got rich, they finally got the big house, they finally got Uncle Albert a boat, which he sinks in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Because that's a running joke with Uncle Albert. Every boat he steps foot on sinks.
Yeah.
But, you see, like, when he's playing pool and everything, and he's just there, like...
Bored.
He's bored shitless.
Yeah.
And I think that really kind of was the stamp the show wanted to make, was that money won't buy you happiness. You can have all the money in the world. You can be rich beyond your fucking dreams, have a big house, all that shit, but you're bored.
Yeah, you got to have some excitement.
But when you're out there and you like Del Boy doing his dodgy deals, and he's down the pub chatting to his mates and Boise and all that lot, it's the people around you that make your life.
Yeah.
Not what you've got in your life. Like you could lose fucking everything you own. Your house could burn down to the ground and your friends are going to be there. But if you've got no friends, you are fuck-owned.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the show was trying to say, was that it's the people around you that are the real riches in life. Fucking look at me getting existential on this episode. Jesus Christ, what have I been doing?
Wednesday night, we're existentializing.
Fucking Jesus, yeah. Anyway, right, back to the main plot of this episode.
Yeah.
Only Fools and Horses. I think we should talk about maybe some of the side characters.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple. There was, we mentioned Cassandra, Rodney's love interest and eventual wife.
Raquel, we got to mention
Turner, who was Del always introduced as his, what was it, significant other or better half or something like that. Supporting cast looking here, we have my all-time favorite. Every time he was in an episode, every time he had a line, I could not stop laughing. Trigger.
Oh, Trig.
Right, Dave?
Yeah, there you go.
I've been doing this job 25 years and I've still got the same broom. Really? Yeah, it's had 10 new heads and 14 new handles. gotta love the innocence of Trigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the dim-witted, innocent guy who takes shit at face value and just carries on with life.
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean, it's such a hell of a role by Roger Lloyd Park. Just
it was. And he was if I remember correctly, the father of Helen Bonham Carter.
really, I didn't know that.
I think that was the case. Don't hold me to that. I remember hearing that somewhere and I can't remember if it's true.
Oh, is this one of like these Tony's questionable parentage issues, or is it an actual thing?
Yeah. That picture you mocked up, somebody mocked up of him as
Oh, it's Chris Hukin. Big shout out to Chris Hukin.
Chris Hukins. Thank you for that picture. I laughed at that one. That was, as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh shit, yeah. you put the hair on him and it's perfect.
Oh,
What?
hold on. No, I've had the independent adjudicator has been on again.
Okay.
No, it's a no on Helen Bonham Carter.
Right. Okay. I must have just heard that somewhere and thought it was true and not good.
It's one of them Tony things again.
Yeah, I'm misremembering shit. But anyway, yes, Trigger, absolutely lovable character. The way he always referred to Rodney as Dave, and it was just one of the longest running jokes. Even at his wedding, everybody says, Rodney, right at the back, Dave. And
that's the thing, isn't it? To wind a joke that long.
Oh God, yeah. And
genius.
The bit with it's just the two of them talking. I can't remember where they are. I think they're in a church or something. It's right before a wedding, something like that. And Rodney goes, "Why do you always call me Dave?" He's like, "What's your name in it?" "No, my name's Rodney." "Why do people call you Dave?" "They don't. Nobody calls me Dave. You're the only person who calls me Dave. My name's Rodney." "Oh, all right then. All right. So okay, it's Rodney then. Okay. Someone comes out. And he goes, is this all that's coming? Trigger goes, "Oh, it's just me and Dave."
Yeah.
Like instantaneously, just straight back to it. Didn't even try. It's just Trigger.
Yeah.
Bless him. We talked a little bit about him, Boise.
Fucking
laugh. Cracks me up. You always knew he was plotting something when he'd do that.
Yeah. That's the thing of it.
He'd do the laugh and he'd bring the cigar slowly up to his mouth like it was always, do you know what, right? In an alternate universe, if Batman had ever been set in Britain, he would have made a brilliant penguin.
Yes.
What was the actor's name? John Chalice? John Chalice. I think if in a parallel universe, 60s Batman, he would have played the penguin.
Oh shit, yeah.
That laugh alone would have got him the role. Let's see who else.
Sue Holderness as Marlene. Sue Holderness as Marlene.
That's Marlene, Boyce's wife, who may.
Yeah, but you always thought she was trying to get it on.
Pardon?
You always thought she was trying to get it on with Del.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Who may or may not have had a thing with Del, because there was. I don't know whether it was meant to be sort of like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink kind of thing, but it was always hinted at that their son was actually Del's. Yeah. Because people would say, "Oh, he looks nothing like you," and it's like, so maybe. The only other one that I can really remember from the show, like vividly, is Denzel.
Oh yeah, Denzel the wagon driver, brilliant.
Yes. I remember him from one episode where they're chasing a butterfly that's worth like, was it 10 grand or something?
Oh yeah, because like that.
And he's finally he's like, "I'm gonna have your money soon," like with the butterfly in his hands, and he's roller skating. And he goes, "Oh, cheers!" Bam.
Yeah.
And double high fives him, and then you just see Del go.
Yeah.
It's again classic comedy, classic British comedy.
We know how to do it.
Yes, we do. We do it good. Anyway, right, back onto the subject of Only Fools and Horses. Seeing as a lot of the cast have passed away, we lost Buster Merriweather.
Yes, we did. Bless him.
Several years ago. David Jason is, well, he's pretty much retired now, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Nicholas Lyndhurst, I'm not entirely sure what he's up to these days.
I don't think he does much.
Oh, speaking of Nicholas Lyndhurst, tangent, everybody, tangent time.
Tangent alert, tangent alert.
Do you remember the show that he did, Good Night, Sweetheart?
Yes, I do.
I loved that show.
I do as well, because it's time travel.
It wasn't just that.
Time travel.
I love the premise of it, but I love kind of some of the jokes about it. Like he'd go back with like things like biscuits and things like that, and they'd see what's this best before thing on it.
Yeah,
like 92 or something like that, and he'd go, "Oh, that's a military code. It's best before," and then like he'd say something, "You should eat that before you eat."
yeah.
Like,
or it was like playing a Beatles tune. Oh yeah, it's a song I wrote. He's just like pumping out "Hey Jude" and shit.
Yeah,
fucking twat.
I do like that, and I like the way that nobody else could go back with him. It was just him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that made it more special. Like it was just his private little thing away from. Because that was the cool thing about it. It's like he had this horrible life, horrible job. His wife was absolutely biatch. And he stepped back into this world in the 1940s, and everything was just simpler.
Yeah. Well, apart from Hitler and all.
Well, yeah, apart from the war, but
yeah, during the war, hey, brings it right back.
Do you know what? There should have been a crossover.
Yeah, they should have been.
Have had a young Uncle Albert turn up in the pub.
Uncle Albert and his naval adventures.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a perfect little crossover because it could have been unofficial. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's a good job I'm sober tonight. I would have said anal adventures. In the Navy.
My dad played that song to my brother when he joined the Navy. I think.
Oh, bet that went down well.
I was 6 years old, so I might be misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure that when my brother got his application through and he was accepted, my dad actually played that song to him. I think.
Yeah.
Which you can see where I get my sense of humor from, obviously.
Yeah.
Like another tangents again, everybody. Tangent alert tonight.
Sorry.
We should have put a tangent high level warning up tonight, like they do on the weather for the pollen. Round Christmas, every time we put the tree up, I'd be like, right, when's the fairy going on top? My dad would always go, whenever your brother gets home. Which that wouldn't fly this day and age, but fuck it, I said it.
Back then. It was back then. It's allowed.
Exactly.
And it's factual, so it is also allowed.
Exactly.
So, yeah, fuck you, snowflakes.
I'm expressing a memory, not throwing out an insult.
Exactly.
But anyway, back to Only Fools and Horses. We've talked at length and you've rattled on. What?
Quick little fact. I find this amazing. The first series was considered a failure, even though they got viewing figures of like 7 to 9 million.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It was
because back then that was a failure.
Yeah,
there was more people watching.
With Faulty Towers. That got it was high. I think it got high viewership. It was slated by the critics.
Yeah,
and I think Only Fools and Horses kind of got a similar kind of thing. Like it didn't get great viewership, and the reviewers that did watch it didn't like it.
Yeah,
but much like our previous topic, it found its footing. It found its fans,
that's
and
the thing, isn't it?
And I think that's why it took big breaks. Oh, hit my microphone. I think that's why Only Fools and Horses especially took big breaks.
Yeah,
because it was like BBC were like, should we do another one? Shouldn't we? We don't know. But then once they got enough people sending letters in, because that's how we did it back then. There was no emails. You had to take the time to write a letter to the BBC and say, please, please, please make another series. And it was down to one person in the mailroom going, okay, letter 4,827. You know what I mean? So it's understandable why there was big gaps. But once they
that's the thing though, but 7 to 9 million. I mean, Jesus Christ, there is BBC executives who wank themselves off over fucking that kind of rating at the minute.
Exactly.
And then time on our hands, 24.3 million. Jesus Christ. To get that, they would sell their daughter's virtue.
Some of them probably already did to a certain Mr. Savile.
Well, yeah.
But that's the story for
Jimmy
another
Savile's
episode.
rider.
That's the story for another episode.
Now then. Sorry.
Tangent alert again. Fuck me. Right. Do you remember a TV show called an animated TV show called Rex the Runt? It was claymation.
No, don't remember that one.
It was about a bunch of claymation dogs, and there was this one in it called Vince, a little orange squishy dog. And every episode, that he contracted some sort of virus or some sort of thing would happen to him. In one episode, he got random Pavarotti syndrome, which means every so often he'd just go la, 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 randomly. And then a few episodes later, he got random Jimmy Savile syndrome.
Oh, good God.
He'd just be walking along and every so often go, now then, I was about that jingle jangle jewelry.
No child safe.
So it was just like, eh? But that episode, unfortunately, due to the revelations with Jimmy Savile, has aged like milk. So you probably won't find that joke anywhere, but yeah, I just randomly thought of it. Anyway, Only Fools and Horses. Yes, it was considered a bit of a failure back in the day, but it lasted 22 years.
Exactly. Come on. Jesus.
7 seasons and 64 episodes. Now, that shows dedication from the fans to keep wanting more and demanding more from the BBC, and then finally giving and make it.
Exactly. As everyone knows, dedication is what you need.
Each season, as it went up, got more and more viewership. Like you said, time on our hands, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of millions of views. You know what I mean? It's like, so whether it was a failure or whether it was a fucking success, in my opinion, it is absolutely brilliant.
It is. It's undoubtedly a success. You have all these polls, don't they? Britain's favourite sitcom and all that. Wins it every time.
It's always
wins it.
It either wins it or it's at least in the top 10. At the
It's usually in the top fucking 3.
Well, yeah.
Or it wins it.
Yeah. Plus, someone says to you, Only Fools and Horses, and the first thing you're going to say is that line, "You stupid plonker."
Yeah.
Or you're gonna quote one of the more.
Of course you are. Yeah.
From it, it's just how it happens, But I think we've wrung this one to death now. I don't think there's much more we can say.
No.
Horses that hasn't been said, and we've talked our ass.
Oh,
sorry, what?
Yeah. Of course, we got to mention Dell's use of French. Oh my lord!
You've just made a memory pop into my head. The episode where they go to France,
and
he says, "What's duck?" or something in French, and Rodney goes, "It's canard." And Dell's response, "I bet it is." I just say duck in French. It's canard. I bet it is.
We say bye to everyone on the phone. Bonjour.
Yes. And au revoir when he answers.
Monge two, Rodney. Monge two.
That's a type of pea. But yes, I do. See, again, we could talk about it for hours, but it's just dragging those memories out. Like you say something and it sparks something in your brain because it's that kind of show. It gets deep in there. Your little brain computer goes, right, I'll file that under F for forever.
Yeah.
It sinks somewhere in your brain and it pops out when needed. Which I'm not even touching that joke with a barge pole.
Fucking reach it with a barge pole. Oh, snort.
No, I spat into my drink. Gonna ruin my makeup.
She's single, fellas.
Yeah, I'm single. I'm not a Pringle, so don't try and pick me up.
Ooh. Oh, it's a deep burn. Deep burn.
Oh, yeah.
On everyone.
Get some aloe on that burn, baby. You'll be fine.
It's a burn on everyone on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Is it going to be like that joke, Oh, Callie, she's so beautiful. Every time she comes on the TV, so do I.
Oh.
No, that's the noise it makes as it hits the screen.
Oh.
Oh.
Filth alert again.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to get banned for some of these jokes. I swear, YouTube's going to come at me one day. Going, now, look here. You can't be making jizz jokes. You can't.
There's no jizz jokes, no fucking Savile references. Or Rolf Harris for that matter.
Ouch.
And his learn to swim adverts. Whoa.
All I can ever remember when I think of Rolf Harris is that fucking board thing he used to play in class as an instrument. That's not an instrument. That's someone on the worksite going, hey lads, check this out.
Yeah.
Fair, my sweet September, I will be refrained. And you're all fucked.
Sorry everyone, we had some technical issues there. Right, we're back. We are going to quickly wrap things up now. We've talked at length of our love for all things Only Fools and Horses. If you haven't seen it, please, for the love of God, go and fucking watch it. Watch all of it. You will love it.
Yes, watch all of it, folks, because Jesus Christ, there is gold in them there hills.
Exactly. It's comedy gold for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know that thing that they do in America where they take films that are like culturally and artistically, and they put them like in an archive.
Yes, the Library of Congress.
That's the one. I couldn't think of the name of it. The Library of Congress. We need something like that, and Only Fools and Horses should be the first fucking thing put in there.
Oh shit, yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. But right, Guy, let's wrap it up.
Okay then. Well, folks, you have been watching my podcast tag team partner there. She's the heavyweight champion. She's the queen of Calico Productions. She's Callie Valentine.
I am the gruesome twosome all on my own. Figure that one out for yourself.
You know, I will follow that. I have been the Random Man, JB. We will be back soon. In fact, we'll be back next week, won't we?
Yes, we are back next week. And for next week's episode, we're having a guest.
Yes,
and
we are.
We're talking all things gaming. And
Yes, we are.
there is a couple of announcements we're going to make on that episode as well, because things are expanding over here at Calico, and it's not just my skirt.
Mm. Oh, but you don't have to cut that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you
for
very much,
watching.
everyone. We will see you soon. Take it easy. Stay safe. And get your geek flag fly. We'll see you soon.
See you, everyone. Bye. Mwah.
Bloody hell.
This old broom has had 17 new heads and 14 new hands.
Trick, why'd you call me Dave?
Oh, shut up, you tart. Lovely jubbly.
What a plonker.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.